James 3:18, and the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. As children of the Most High God, the things that we say and do should bring glory to His name and peace to the world that needs to hear them. Alrighty guys, this is a special dedication video to a very special person in my life. And we're going to start the 2025 fishing season. We have not had the boat out to actually do any fishing or anything since I believe it was just about the last day of 2024. But before I did any more fishing, I'm taking this time this morning to do something that my former fishing partner Rick and I used to do every time that we got out on the water, and that was we said a prayer together. And I can tell you we had great success, safe, and a fun time every time that we went out. So I'm starting today that way, and I'm going to dedicate this boat to a very special person to me. If you have followed the channel for any length of time, you know that every one of my cars have had a name. Most of them have had names, female names, and this will not be any different. So without further ado, let me get busy. Wipe down the hull with a little alcohol. And there it is, Betty Jean. That is my mom's name. My mom passed away last April, just a few months after my dad passed away, and it's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her, because she was always involved in my life, and she was the backbone of our family. She was the one that helped keep us together, the one that taught us to love and honor the Lord. She raised all of us in the fear and admonition of the Lord, and I will forever be thankful. So it was appropriate for me to name this boat or ride in honor of her name, Betty Jean. So she'll always be with me when I'm on the water and always in my heart. So that is the dedication for today. We're going to try to get out on the water. It's about 10:16 in the morning. It's still in the 40s as far as the temperature. That's not going to deter me. I'm going to get out there. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch any fish. There is a front coming in this evening. There's supposed to rain, so that works to our advantage. But we're going to go out there and give it a try. Okay guys, last time that you guys tuned in, we installed this NOCO Industries shallow water anchor, and one of the things that I told you that we would address was what were we going to do as far as this. I told you we're going to do something so to make sure that this doesn't scratch the boat up. So hang on a second, I'll show you what we're going to do. So what we have here is a simple piece of discarded vacuum hose. Anytime I take vacuum hoses off of any engine project or whatever, I always save the extra pieces because you never know what you can use them for. So what we're going to do a little small measurement look to see where this hits on top of there. Looks like about, and I'm not going to measure exactly and tell you how long it is. Simply going to eyeball it, cut a piece of vacuum hose the length of the amount that's going to be sitting on top of this, and then what we're going to do is just split it pretty much right down the center. Try to keep it as straight as possible because that is important. Then what you're going to do, lift this up and pull your vacuum line open, slide it over the area. While we're doing it, might as well go ahead and make the other piece. Try to make it the exact same length, but if it's not, oh well, there's nobody pulling out a calipers or a ruler to make sure that you do, and don't cut towards yourself like I just did. Split this piece down the middle just like we did the other piece. Slide this piece also, split it down the middle, slide it over on both sides, and there you have it. Now what you could do if you wanted to, I'm not going to, you could put some type of adhesive on there to make sure that those don't come off, but I'm not going to do that. There we go. Now you can slam it down as hard as you want to. That rubber is going to keep it from scratching the side of your boat. It's not going to affect it in any way otherwise, but now you have two rubber pieces to protect your boat. See how simple that was? I told you it was going to be easy. Okay, we're out here on Lake Mooney. I don't fall in. It's just one of those days where I just want to get out and do something. So we're out here doing some testing. Make some casts in by the shore and see if we can catch our first fish in Betty Jean. So hang on, and maybe I'll have a good report in a few minutes. I have not even turned on the fish finder. Maybe I ought to. Of course, if I'm going to turn the fish finder on, I guess I better put the transducer down in the water. Let me tell you what, that water is ice cold. I'm going to check the fish finder to see what the water temperature is. Let's see. Make a little cast over there while I'm waiting for the fish finder to come on. Well, we did give it a try. We spent a good part of 2 hours out on the water. I scouted a few areas. Never really did see any good structure with fish on it, but what ended up happening, the wind started blowing, and I had checked the report that morning and it seemed like the wind was only going to blow about 5 miles an hour, but by the time we got down to the area where I wanted to fish, it was blowing at approximately 10 to 15 miles an hour. So not knowing the capacity of the battery on board, I decided to lick my wounds and end the day, another day, without catching a fish. But we do have some good news because I'm about to take care of that right now. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We are in the garage again, and let me first explain why. Earlier in this video, we made an attempt to go to one of my favorite fishing spots. Matter of fact, at this particular lake, my former fishing partner, he's still my partner, he just doesn't live here in this area anymore. He and I, when this lake first opened up, we caught over 100 bass in a day. Now, grant you, they weren't monsters because the lake had just opened. And I remember that day we started out and we were catching bass all day long. We could have caught even more, but we were tired. Our arms were literally tired from catching bass on this lake. Now, having said all of that, I believe, to my knowledge, that has been approximately, give or take, maybe seven, possibly 8 years ago. So yeah, times have changed. I've gone through a few boats since then. I have gone through as many boats, well, not quite as many boats as I do cars. There is one particular model boat that I have bought 3 times. And that's all I have to say about that. But while I was out on the water, and I cut the video short, it was a warm day. It was mid-50s. The previous day it had gone up as high as 64, but it was starting to cool down. But I just wanted to get out on the water. So I figured I'd go to one of these famous stops of mine. And 2 things happened. One, what wasn't supposed to happen is the wind started blowing. And that's significant because this particular lake that I went to, you are only allowed to use an electric motor. So I have the trolling motor on my new boat. Now, previously, in the past, the boats that I had when I went to this lake were always powered by at least 2 electric motors and plenty of battery for my partner and I to get out there and fish all day. We got used to that. And even if we had an issue, which we had on occasion, one time we broke a prop. One time, yeah, out on a very long lake, and he and I had 1 oar in between the 2 of us. In 97-degree heat, we had to paddle all the way back to the dock, which was it probably took us 2.5 hours. And I promise you, from that day forward, I never went out without a spare prop for a trolling motor and also a pin a lock pin that you use to hold the propeller on these trolling motors. So that being said, when we got out there, the wind was blowing. It wasn't supposed to. It was calm when I first got out on the water. So I got out there and I was using my spot lock, just staying in a space here and there. Made a few good casts, and like I said, the wind started blowing. And when the wind starts blowing, then my spot lock, which if any of you guys are familiar with spot lock, that motor is constantly turning when you have wind and a current because it's trying to keep you in that particular spot. And the further I went out, it seemed like the windier it got. And then there's the question, okay, my new boat has 1 trolling motor battery. It has a deep cycle. I think it's a, I'll have to look, but I believe it's a acid, one of the lead acid batteries, which is way old school for me. But yeah, that's what we had. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm out here by myself in my big boat, and I have 1 battery, and there are no paddles for my new boat because I have an outboard. Surely, I guess it would be probably safe to have maybe a paddle, one of those collapsible ones on board, just in case you had to move for, a small space or a small distance. But no, you're not paddling that boat back to the dock with an oar. So, having not tested the new trolling motor, it's a brand new interstate battery. So I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have had any problem. But by that battery running that trolling motor basically running all day, I didn't know how much that battery could take, and I didn't want to take a chance and get stranded out there because on that day when I was out there was only 1 person on the water. maybe that's why nobody else came out, because it was one of those kind of days where it was not conducive or productive to go fishing. So I decided, you know what, rather than take a chance, I'm going to head back. It was windy. I did not get a bite. And that is a problem too, because you guys are going to begin to think that this dude's talking about fishing and he hasn't caught near fish yet. Well, I promise you, by the time we get back out on the water, which is going to be a little bit of time, once we get some steady warm weather and I get everything dialed in on the boat, I promise you, you will see my skill set as far as catching fish. But on that day, I was not going to take a chance of running out of battery power out there and then having to call or see if I could call somebody or leave my boat tied up at somebody's in somebody's cove and go get a bat. No, I was not doing that. So I decided, you know what, let's just scrap this. And in the meantime, I'm going to solidify my confidence in being able to get out on the water, use the battery or batteries all day without them running out of power, and having a peace of mind to know that I'll be able to get back, even on lakes where they only allow electric. So that's why we are here this evening. I decided, now at first I said, you know what, I'm gonna get a really nice lithium phosphate or lithium ion battery. I've had them before, and I'm going to put that on there. This new motor that I have on Betty Jean, it's a 12 volt, 55 pound thrust, which on this boat is probably the smallest that one I would recommend. And for me, it's really all I need for the type of fishing that I do. However, being 12 volt, my other boat, I had a Minn Kota Tarova. It was an 80 pound thrust and it was 24 volts. So you always had two batteries. This is a 12 volt, so I really don't need or have to have two batteries. But what I decided to do was to go ahead and get two batteries, since I have two spots in the area that is designated for the batteries and all of your equipment in the back. It has a spot for two batteries. So I decided to go ahead and get two batteries. That way I can go anywhere all the time without the worry of it running down. And I decided to go ahead, like I said, and get lithium. So what I'm going to do, like I've always done, I'm not one of those people who just frivolously spends money. So I'm going to sell. Unfortunately, the charger that came with my boat is for glass mat and lead acid battery. It is not for lithium, but that's okay, because we have an answer for that, and you'll see that at the end of this video. So let's unbox, and I'm only going to unbox one because they're both the same. This is now I've heard it pronounced both ways. In my estimation, based on the way it's spelled, I think it says Li Time battery, but I've heard people say Li Time. However it is you want to say it, I'm going to say Li Time. This is a Li Time battery. I've had them in the past, and I've had awesome service. Neither one that I've had in the past has ever failed. I've never run out of a charge, and that's running on these batteries all day on some of the longest lakes with one trolling motor and all of that. I've never had one of these batteries run down, and they always charge right back up. I have not had a problem, so it was a no-brainer for me to go back to Li Time and get us two lithium batteries. And I'm going to let you see all of this. One, I'm going to show you how well they're packed, and I will tell you this, you can get these through Amazon, and they don't play around. I ordered these maybe 2 days ago, and they're here. And I hope you guys can see these things, and every time I've gotten them, it's been the same. One, they have, the packaging is exceptional. It has everything in a Ziploc, a nice little Ziploc bag, all the information you need to find out about Li Time and all the other batteries and things that are available. This has a 5-year warranty on it. So, good stuff. Now, see how well this is packed? It's got a foam top on it. This battery was not going to get hurt on the way here, I promise you. And right here on top of this, you see these are the post bolts. So you'll be able to hook up your charge system and all your wiring to the top of the battery. But I'm going to pull this top off, get my hands up under it. And these are so well packed. I mean, you could drop this thing off the back of the truck. Please don't tell the UPS man I said that. But they could drop them off the back of a truck and it would not hurt them. See how thick that is? Then I'm gonna pull it out of the box. It has a carry handle on it. Now, if this were a AGM advanced glass mat or a lead acid battery, of this size, I would not be able to just sit here and just lift that thing up like it was nothing. And you can see it's also sealed up on the bottom. So nothing was going to get hurt. But this is one beautiful piece of work. Now, if you look at the side, this is not only a lithium battery, it is specifically designed for what I'm going to use it for. And I'm going to turn this around so you can see that it says on the side, Li Time 12.8 volt group 31, and it is a smart Bluetooth battery, so you can look at this charge and see what the charge rate is on your phone. And it's also a trolling motor battery. It's made for what we need it for, and it is 100 amp hour. So I'm going to measure this because when I was ordering, I kept saying no. The battery case or the place where the batteries sit in the back of my boat, it is designed for a 27 group battery, and I kept punching in 27 group, and it kept putting me back with this 31 group battery. So let's measure this and see if it's going to fit. Now that area is 13. Yep, it's 13 long, and it's 7 inches wide. So let's see if it's going to fit this way. Absolutely. So this 31 group battery by Li Time is precisely the size that it needs to be to fit in the back of my boat, in the trays that are already there. I mean, everything is literally already there. I'm just going to have to basically take both of these batteries, take the lead acid battery out, which I am going to sell. Also, like I said, the charger even that this boat came with, and I think I wouldn't say it's a bad charger. I would just say this would not be an upgrade as far as if you were buying this boat. It's a charger that is doable, but it is not probably would be your first choice. So it cannot charge lithium batteries. It can only charge AGM and lead acid batteries. So I wasn't going to be able to use that, and we do have a solution for that as well. So I'm going to move this battery with one hand. Whoop, whoop. Now this is not super light, but I promise you it's way lighter than the glass mat or the lead acid battery. This weighs 22 pounds, and I promise you 44 pounds for 2 batteries. I guarantee you, and we're going to weigh it and see that lead acid battery that's in there, one battery weighs more than both of those. So we're going to be not only having a better reliable power source, but we will also be having less weight. So let's see what we got to keep these charged. Okay, guys, I'm one of those guys, when I find something that works, I stick with it. Battery tender, whatever you want to call it. And it was flawless. Never had a problem. I would back my boat here in the garage, plug it in, and by the time a couple of 3 hours or so, it was ready to go again. Now, this particular type of charger, I have used them on cars. They will literally bring batteries back to life that you think this battery is done. And here's how I can tell you I know that they work. My daughter, now I'm not going to say that she's like most women, because then that's being pretty, that would be kind of a sexist statement. And that would be grouping everyone into one category. But let's say this. My daughter, when it comes to leaving lights on, has done it more than once. And the battery that is in her vehicle is the original battery. Now, this is her second car that she's had since she's had her license. And the first car that she had the original battery in it. For the entire time my wife had the car, and then she gave it to my daughter, and she killed that battery too. So I've always, that being said, every time I would tell her, make sure you turn your lights off. And there's something in her car where you can actually touch a button, and the interior accessories will still be going, and you get out. If you would just get out of the car, take the keys out of this, turn the car off, come in the house. But sometimes they linger in the car, they're talking to whoever, and they forget to turn the button off that they keep pushing to make sure it's talking through the sound system. And what will happen is that won't be off. They'll come in the house, and the battery and some of the lights will stay on all night. Now, she's done that more than 4 times. And each time I tell her, if you keep doing that the charger is not going to be able to bring the battery back. And every time she has done that, I put these chargers on there, and they bring them all the way back to like they're brand new. They're not struggling. The battery is almost like it renews the battery. And I'm not joking. I'm not getting paid a dime, but I'm telling you, these chargers, for me, there is no other choice for me. So let me stop talking and show you what I got. This is the NOCO Genius Gen 5 by 3 onboard battery charger. And notice it says battery charger maintainer. You can plug this up and leave it, set it and forget it, and it will keep your batteries charged. When the batteries is charged, it will automatically shut down, and the battery starts getting low, it will come back to life. And when you get in the boat or whatever you're using, or the green, I know a lot of people, and if you go to Amazon, you will see that a lot of people have a lot of great things to say about not only this charge, but also these batteries. There are a number, let's just say there are a lot of lithium batteries out there, and I can't speak for any of the others. Some of them are extremely expensive. I have a neighbor that bought lithium batteries. I can't remember the name of the company that he got, but his batteries were like, I want to say like $600 a piece, and he bought 3 batteries. I promise you, these 2 batteries that I have was nowhere near that. Now you go on Amazon and check it out for yourself. Now let's open this box up so you can get a good look at this. Now this is going to mount right in the place where my current, and this is well packaged too, as you can see. You got an outward cover. It was covered in plastic. Slide that off. Then it's in another box. Slide it up, open, and just like the batteries, you can see they've got this foam that's going to protect it, And I tell you, some of these delivery people you see with your packages, when you're looking out your ring, you're like, he just threw my package on the stairs. I haven't had that too much in my neighborhood, and I can say I've had good delivery people. But yeah, it has a little booklet in here for accessories that you can buy. I should be able to bolt, or should I say, connect all the wires that are already out there. And I am kind of on the fence. I could hook these up in, I can't remember which is series and which is parallel. I think parallel means that you'll have 12 volts. In series means that it combines the two and you'd have 24 volts. Either way, I was thinking about, and another guy was telling me the same thing. He says, you're never going to run out of one of those batteries in a day unless you're on an all, and I don't even think then, because everybody I've talked to said that they've had one battery and they have not run out. This is a 5x3. So in other words, it's 15 amps divided by 3. So each, and this is a three bank. I couldn't think of the word. This is a 3-bank charger. So I will be able to charge my 2 trolling motor batteries as well as my starting battery. Now I still have a interstate starting battery, and this charger, praise the Lord, can charge regular 12 volt lead acid, AGM, and lithium batteries, and it can tell the difference. And once you set it for whatever mode you want to put it in, it will charge to the 12 volts and the green light will come on. So I'll be able to hook this up to all 3 of my batteries, plug in one thing, and I'm done. And I'm going to show you guys probably in the next video of how I'm going to hook all that up, so you'll be able to see that it's not hard, but there are some things you need to be aware of and take caution of. So I'm going to close that box up, and there's a couple more things I want to tell you about this battery, and then we're done. Hopefully I can get out here. We are still having some crazy weather here in Virginia. Yesterday it was 60. Today it was 65. I had on short sleeves all day. Tomorrow it's going to be 40. So if your body can adjust to 20 degree temperature changes in a day, come to Virginia, because this is what we do. We're like on a roller coaster. One day is hot, or not hot. One day it's very warm, and the next day is cold, as my mama would say. It's cold as blazes. So this battery is what they call, the nominal voltage is 12.8 volts. The rated capacity is 100 amp hours. Now the battery that is out there right now, that interstate, I want to tell you, I have my phone. I took a picture of it because I'm going to list it for sale, so I could tell someone who might ask how many amp hours it is. Let me pull up a picture that I took. Yes, that battery is, and it only has a 1 year replacement. It is 88 amp hours and 750 MC, and that's I'm not sure what the M stands for. I know it's cranking amps or charge amps. This is rated at 100 amp hours. Rated energy is 1280 watts. Charging voltage 14.4. Maximum continuous charge discharge is 100 amp. So yeah, this will definitely get it done. And like I said, this is made specifically for trolling motors, and it is a smart battery. LiFePO by Li Time. So that's where we are. Thank you guys for tuning in. This Group 31 battery is going to fit right down there where the other one came out, and we will be ready to go. One of these days, not too long from now, we're going to be able to get out on the water and stay for a length of time where we won't be getting blown around. When I got out on that water, that water was 38 degrees. The fish were probably, that lake is over 100 feet deep. So they were down deep most likely. I really didn't get a chance to really graph and look at everything, the structure and all, and I will be doing that once it gets warmer. But man, when that wind is blowing you like that and you're trying to hold on to stuff, the spot lock on the trolling motor did its job, but I wasn't going to take a chance of running out there on the water. So on the next video, you're going to see us pull all of this stuff out, both batteries, the charger, take the old stuff out and put the new stuff in. Thank you guys for tuning in, and remember to like and subscribe, because the more you do that, the more videos I can make. And I thank you guys. Have a blessed day and a wonderful weekend ahead.